Who seeks me?
Brona! That must be Brona!
Who are you?
Adventure Game.
He's solving riddles great and small.
Adventure Game.
Adventure games, he loves them all. Every day is a new quest, exploring north, south, east, to west. Point and click to find the answers that we seek. Adventure Game Geek.
Hello there, fellow adventurers. To commemorate the second season of the Shannara Chronicles, I thought we'd take a look at the Shannara adventure game, published in 1995 by Legend Entertainment. The game designers were husband and wife team Laurie and Corey Cole, who both worked at Sierra Online, most notably on the Quest for Glory series. The game is of course based on the epic fantasy books by Terry Brooks, and takes place between the Sword of Shannara and the Elfstones of Shannara, with some elements of the Wish Song of Shannara thrown in. So, how does the game compare to the books? Well, let's find out, shall we? I started playing this with my friend Dave, otherwise known as the All-Knowing One, but only got through the first part before Dave fell asleep. His words of wisdom though will help us on our way.
Right, Steve, you know what you have to do now.
The introduction shows a nightmarish vision of a gnome kneeling before an altar holding a book, which suddenly flares to life and a dark-robed figure emerges from its pages. This cheerful chap is the Warlock Lord, who used to be the druid Brona but was subverted by dark magic. He uses his powers to transform the gnome into different shapes to do his evil bidding. Meanwhile, in the peaceful forest surrounding Shady Vale, we find ourselves at a quiet fishing spot complete with leaning rock. Let's try leaning on it. Okay, that didn't really help much. What's that in the water?
Ha-ha! Steve, you found the secret.
Just as we're busy solving our first puzzle, a scary green monster appears. This is our first taste of combat, which to put it nicely is not the game's strong point. In other words, it's a load of old bollocks. Fortunately, we're saved by this guy.
Oh, it's him.
So who is he?
My name is Alanon.
Okay, so who are we?
You are Jack Ormsford. Your father is Shay Ormsford. Your elven heritage is quite apparent.
In other words, we have pointy ears. Alanon gives us the lowdown about Brona coming back from the dead and monsters taking over the land, so now we must get our pointy elven butt over to the city of Lee as quickly as possible.
Oh, just look at this lovely scenery.
On the way we encounter a fair maiden in need of saving. First things first though, let's try kissing her.
Really, Jack? Could you get this log off me first?
Okay, but you owe me a kiss later. Whoa, I said kiss me, not kill me! Oh, I see, she just saved us from a monster, I guess Reva now. This is Shella, who you journey with to Lee, only to discover that her father King Menion has fallen deathly ill.
Something's not right here. You have an ill man.
This part plays out like a murder mystery where you have to find out what's wrong with the king and if foul play was involved. This guy looks friendly.
Who are you?
I'm the gardener.
I think you're the killer. Let's get a lynching party.
There are plenty of objects to examine, but only a few are useful. You can look at all the stuff in this shop, but there's always a reason you can't take something. So you pick things up, look at them, and then put them back again.
Please leave my potions alone. I use them to make remedies.
After saving King Menion and solving the mystery, which has absolutely nothing to do with the gardener, who mysteriously disappears after the Scottish shopkeeper is murdered,
Oh no, I'm out of some of the ingredients.
it's time to move on. Here's where we leave my friend Dave with some final words of guidance.
North, we have to go north, I tell you. Follow the road, north.
Hey, it's the gardener again. What's he doing here?
In the name of my master, Brona, I will destroy you both. Attack!
I didn't see that one coming. Next stop is the city of Tirsus, which is besieged by zombies.
Look out! They're attacking!
In other words, it's a load of old bollocks. We meet a friendly dwarf called Brendel, but the gatekeeper is not quite so friendly.
Hey, who's that with you?
It's our friend, Brendel.
We don't allow dwarves in Tyrsis.
Oh, I see. You don't allow dwarves in Tyrsis. When we finally get entry to the city, instead of a cutscene, we just get some text on a black screen explaining what's going on. What happened? Did the zombies cut the power? In a vault surrounded by magical fire rests the legendary Sword of Shannara, but to get it we need to solve a riddle and gather some ingredients. This formula of puzzle solving recurs several times throughout the game, which as we're about to find out is really one great fetch quest to obtain magic items from all over the four lands. But why can't we just take the sword and use it?
Behold, the Sword of Shannara.
Oh, monkey balls, this is going to be harder than I thought.
The Sword of Shannara must be reforged.
Okay, so how do we do that then?
From Arborlon in the west, you must find elf stones and an elf who can use them.
Alright, let me just write this down. Elf stones from the Westland. Okay, got it.
From the north, you must find a troll who has the right to bear the black iris.
Troll with black iris in the north. Okay.
From the east, you must seek the dwarven hammer of power.
Eastland, hammer of power.
Finally, from the south, you must find a gnome who wields the magic torque.
Southland, gnome, magic torque. Alright, so we have to explore north, south, east, and west. Sounds familiar.
Every day is a new quest, exploring north, south, east, and west.
One of the most interesting aspects of the game for me is being able to talk to different party members who all comment on the current situation, either giving directions,
Jack, we're, going the wrong way.
or solving a puzzle.
I suggest you look for anything that is out of place or missing.
Sometimes though, they're not so helpful.
Nice day if it don't rain.
You're joined by a troll later in the game who's a creature of few words.
Bad. Bad. Bad.
This is in contrast to his roguish companion Panamon Creel, who always holds his head in his hand while his other arm ends in a pike, although as far as I know we never see it in the game.
Hey, when you see Brona, tell him I said hello.
At every turn you're pursued by the Shifter, who takes various forms, though it's pretty obvious, just like the genie in King's Quest VI.
Come on over here and see what I'm doing with these flowers. Never mind that stone fella on top of the gate. He won't hurt you any.
I was totally stuck at one point where you fight a never-ending horde of monsters. Maybe the help menu can help us. Ah, what is an adventure game? I think I know this one. Here's a helpful hint: if you get stuck, try playing with a friend, relative, spouse, lover, or other available human being. Even your pet cat may think of something you've overlooked. So, what do you think we should do then, huh? If your cat can't help you though, you can always try calling the helpline. Hello? Is that the Shannara helpline?
I will destroy you.
I finally realized that after you've obtained the elf stones and an elf who can use them, you have the option to use the stones in battle. As we learn in the book server, there's always a price to pay for using magic, and the wielder is never the same again.
Be very careful with magic, Jack. It is as dangerous as Brona himself.
When we reach the Southland, a gnome called Geek joins our party, who's obsessed with getting the magic torque.
Geeka want torque. Give up. Give Geeka torque. Geeka get torque. Geeka not get torque.
And if you're wondering what a torque is, it's a ring of metal worn around the neck, not to be confused with the Off-Road Racing Championship. One of the more memorable creatures that makes a brief appearance is what's known in the books as a creeper, but is just called Monster in the game. It's poisoning the waters of the Silver River, but once you dispatch the creepy beastie, the river flows clear again. Let's take a ride down the river.
Wow, this certainly is a wild river ride.
Yeah, that looks totally wild.
The Silver River has a king who shows up to save us from impending doom and lays some prophecy on us.
You will lose something that you love dearly, or everything you have done will become a lie.
I wonder what that means. Lose something I love dearly. It becomes clear that Shella has feelings for Jack, though she still avoids his kisses.
Really, Jack?
Shella is mortally wounded by the Shifter masquerading as Al-Anon. You must decide whether to kill her and release her soul, or save her with the Elfstones. If you choose to save her, you both live happily ever after, except that the Elfstones are no more and the Warlock Lord is free to ravage the lands. Well, that's what the text says, you'll just have to imagine the rest. To continue your quest, you must sacrifice Shella, a decision which adds some much needed depth and pathos to the story.
I waited a long time for a kiss from you, Jack. Why did you wait so long?
Well, if you didn't avoid my kisses the whole time, this would have happened earlier. This game feels more like a parable of love, greed, and heroism, which culminates in a dreamlike sequence that takes place in a maze of never-ending passages that the strategy guide calls the Corridor of the Mind. Here, each of your party members interrogate you on the choices you made.
A leader accepts responsibility for his own actions, and the actions of those he leads.
So, if you have a domination fetish and enjoy being repeatedly scolded and told how insignificant you are, then this is for you.
You damned my soul!
Face it, you've lost all your friends, you're alone.
Nothing you did will be significant, and all you did will be forgotten.
Despite all this, the Sword of Shannara is reforged and the Warlock Lord is defeated in the end. Unless you choose the bad ending, in which case you become the Warlock Lord yourself.
Very good. You are the new Warlock Lord. You shall serve me well for a very long time.